Well, the Seattle Mariners have officially missed out on the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes, but were we even involved? We'll get into that today. This is the NW Sportscast. I am Levi, and let's get right into it. So Shohei Ohtani, a lot of people thought maybe the Mariners were going to try to take a swing at it. You know, there was fans chanting, "We want Ohtani, bring us Shohei," at the All-Star game. He was in Seattle. He has property in Seattle. The Mariners have connections to Japanese players, Ichiro, and as well as quite a few others in the past. You know, Iwakuma, Daeho Lee. We've had guys from Asia who've come in and had a lot of success here. You would think that maybe Seattle could have been a nice destination for him, but unfortunately, the Mariners didn't want to pay, and I actually tend to agree here. I thought he was going to go for maybe $500 million. I thought, you know, paying anything more than that for a guy who really is no guarantee to even really be a pitcher. You know, I know he says he wants to pitch, but it's hard to really buy that. I mean, he's been injured 3 times now in his career as a pitcher. I don't think he's going to be able to pitch for much longer. I think he might pitch in 25, maybe 26. But I think by the second half of this contract, he's going to be a DH only. And in that case, I think $70 million a year is an overpay for a guy who's just a DH. Like, by the end of this contract, he'll be 39. He could be a guy who's literally just a DH hitting 25 home runs and batting 260. That's good. Like, I'm not saying hitting 25 home runs, 260 is bad, but 25 home runs, 260 when you're 38, that's not $70 million a year worthy. But that's what the Dodgers decided that he is worth to them. They are that intent on winning a championship. That's how much they want to win. And the Mariners, we don't want to win that much. I guess that's the overall takeaway, but we also want to be sustainable. And we understand that, you know, whether or not we wanted to sign Ohtani, the front office looks at it and says, we can't afford $70 million a year to one player. And so Jerry Dipoto, in that case, it's really hard to believe that Dipoto didn't want to sign Ohtani, and we may have even met with him. But it's just, we don't have that kind of money. We don't. We're not the Dodgers. We don't have the revenue stream the Dodgers have, where we don't sell out all of our games, and we don't have the ownership that is willing to spend. I wish we did. I really wish we did. But knowing that Seattle, if we had signed Ohtani, we would not have been able to sign anybody for the next, 8 years. We wouldn't have been able to extend Cal, or Logan, or George, or Bryce, or any of them. And so from that perspective, we would have became the Angels. We would have had 2 humongous contracts, right? They had Trout and Pujols, 2 massive contracts, and then a bunch of minor league guys. And the Angels proved that doesn't work. So, as a Mariners fan, looking at this, if he had signed for $400 million, $500 million, I would have been a little bit annoyed that the Mariners maybe didn't make a bigger push. But knowing now that he was going to sign for $700 million, yeah, I'm A-okay with the Mariners not going to him. Supposedly, it's going to have a ton of deferrals for his contract. So, apparently unprecedented. We don't know the idea of that yet, but essentially Ohtani wants to make sure that the team is going to be under the competitive balance tax, because right now the Dodgers are also paying $30 million a year to both Betts and Freeman. So they already have quite a bit of money on the books. I think right now they were at about $130 million before signing him, so now they're probably pushing $200 million. And if they want to add a few more guys, you know, they probably want to re-sign Clayton Kershaw, so that's going to add as well. So the Dodgers are going to be pushing probably $225 million this season in salary. That's right where they want to be. You know, they're still going to be below the luxury tax. They currently are still below the luxury tax. That's good. And Ohtani wants to make sure that he wants his team to be as competitive as possible. So I wonder if this means, they don't have the details out, but I almost wonder if when they say unprecedented deferrals, it's going to be deferrals to after the 10 years are up. We've seen guys do this before, like when they retire, they'll take the money and they'll spread it out over really long periods of time. That could be what we're looking at here, where it's going to be like the Dodgers are going to pay Ohtani $20 million for the next 40 years. maybe that's what we're thinking. I don't know what the scale of these deferrals is going to be, but I think I trust that Ohtani wants to win more than anybody else, but he also wants the money, and this money guarantees himself a life of success. I mean, it's the highest paid player ever in American sports history, more than any guy in the NFL's ever made. So, yeah, there's a lot of money in baseball. It just sucks that the Mariners don't have it, but just knowing that we have such a restricted budget, I'm happy we didn't make this move, because we would have basically been chaining ourselves up for the next 10 years to becoming the Angels of the past 10 years, which means no playoffs. And I like the playoffs, so I'm okay with this. I'm A-okay with it. And yeah, that's my take. This is the NW Sportscast. Comment down below if you agree, if you disagree, like the video, dislike the video. Well, actually, we'd prefer if you didn't dislike the video. Even if you do disagree, just comment down below and still like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this.